O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Monday, February 3rd, 2025. Stand up for your country. I'm reporting tonight from West Palm Beach, Florida. So about 7 in the morning when I usually arise. On Long Island, it was about 24. And here, about 73, that kind of thing. 2-hour, 30-minute plane ride. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm down here. I got some business I got to attend to, and it's not bad to get out of the icy Northeast. Now, tomorrow, we got a big announcement about the next book. It's going to be another controversial thing. I think you're going to want to hear about that tomorrow. But today, there's hysteria all over the place about the Trump tariffs. And to me, this is almost a sitcom now, because it's so obvious what the president is doing. Yet the liberal press wants to try to sell a completely different scenario. And yeah, you're right. It's been going on for what, 25, 30 years? But it's reached the height of absurdity. So let's do the talking points memo and run down the facts as we know them. So this morning it was a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, 10% China. In about a half an hour, Mexico surrendered and the tariff was paused down there. So what was the issue? What Trump wants is the Mexican military on the border to stop the migrants and the drugs. So the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, says, magically, oh, okay, we'll give you 10,000 troops. So what's the difference between now, February 3rd, and 3 months ago, or 6 months, or a year? The difference is Biden didn't give a hoot. He didn't care how many drugs came in or people. And that's the God's honest truth. The man could not have cared less. So Trump, gets in and he says to Mexico, look, we're going to ruin your economy unless you stop the madness. And Sheinbaum says, okay. So Trump wins. Okay. And that happened in the space of 2 hours. Canada, as I wrote in my message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com, which you should read, I hope you do. It's free. You don't have to join anything. Different animal. All Trump wants there is they accept more American products than they are. Simple. And then there are some tweaks on the border and a few other things but they're not big things. That deal will happen. It may have happened by the time you're watching this, because Trump was on the phone with Trudeau right when we went to tape in the late afternoon. So it might have already happened. But Trudeau, they're going to give Trump what he wants. Okay, so this is a foregone conclusion, but not before the media goes nuts about the tariffs, driving the stock market down 600 points. It recovered, of course, but that's why you got to be careful about the stock market. And then the CNNs of the world, the NBC Newses, they just play this stupid game that they've got to know is dishonest. Roll the tape.
Do you think these tariffs are going to make your constituents' grocery prices higher?
They might. I think it's a real risk. And by the way, I looked at what happened in this election and the one before it in 2022. People have been mad for a long time about rising costs.
Here's how stupid that is. Nobody knows whether a tariff is going to raise any prices on anything. It might. And I expect car prices will go up, and I expect Americans will buy fewer new cars. That's what I expect to happen. Might not happen. I don't know. Nobody knows. And to throw this stuff out and waste everybody's time creating this panic. I must have gotten 30 letters this morning from viewers who go, oh, no, it's going on. No, no one knows. It's possible. And if Trump doesn't get what he wants and prices rise, then he'll be a failed president. Simple as that. That's what's going to happen. His approval rating will go like this. And if all of this doesn't work out, it's a gamble. Remember, Biden did nothing for 4 years. He made everything worse. I'm not in business to boost one party over the other, but at least the Republican Party is trying to get this thing under control. This thing being a $37 trillion debt. And a lot of that's because the countries in the EU, Mexico, don't take our products. Are we all getting this? China's the worst. But Trump wants to make a bigger deal with China, which is why it was 10% for them, not 25. So eventually, I think this is going to work in Donald Trump's favor. But I'm not sure. Okay? And I'll report it honestly no matter what happens. And that's the memo. Here's a deal that did work. And you didn't hear about it over the weekend because it was very lightly covered by the irresponsible, dishonest networks. So Trump's appointed the former ambassador to Germany, Rick Grenell, who I know, as his special envoy to Venezuela. And Grenell goes down and he gets 6 Americans released. We don't know much about the Americans, but they were being charged with pretty serious crimes down there, trying to overthrow the government or whatever. So Grenell goes down, he gets 6 of them out. That's a pretty good deal. Okay, you didn't hear about it, probably, unless you're really locked in, because it was covered on NBC on Saturday, a little bit, and Good Morning America on Saturday, a tiny bit. In addition, Grenell convinces the dictator down there, Maduro, to take back the gangsters, the Venezuelan gangsters that are here in the United States. You've heard all about them, okay? So it was that Maduro wasn't going to take them back, but now he is. That's Tren de Aragua. Those are the people in Denver, you know them, bad. And now Venezuela going to take them back. Now, Grenell should be a hero. You don't know his name because the media ignores it. And that's a deal that happened over the weekend. Panama. And I'm going to play the soundbite. So Panama, Secretary of State Rubio goes to visit. And one of the funny things that I said to Trump a month ago when I talked to him for an extended period of time was, send me to Panama, I'll get the deal you want. And then, ha, 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 but I wouldn't get. So Rubio goes and he gets the Panamanian president who can't stand up, Jose Raul Molino. All right, we have Jose's picture, we put it up there. So Jose can't stand up to the United States. Jose's going to fire, all right, CK Hutchinson Holdings, they're the Chinese company that operates the ports in the Panama Canal. So he's going to fire, which is what Trump wants. So he goes, okay, I'll fire them. They're gone. They've been there since 1997. They're out. And Rubio, I think he was there 2 hours, and Molino said, yeah, we'll fire him. And you mark my words, the prices that Panama charged, U.S. shipping are going to be way down. And Trump will win because he threatened to take over Panama, which he was never going to do because you can't do it. So, all right, here's what I said on January 20th. Go. Whatever deal President Trump wants, he'll get from Panama. They can't stand up. So he's got that in his mind, believe me, and that'll be one of the first things. He'll get, 75% discount on all American shipping, including military, and then they'll have to boot the Chinese out and replace them with American security companies. That's what I think is going to go down. Okay, I'm not a genius. This isn't hard. I'm just honest, unlike the other media. Okay? I know what's happening in the world. I know how it works. Hey, now, bottom line on all of this hysteria today, Trump's going to get his deals. He's going to get better deals, trade deals from everybody. EU, China, Mexico, Canada, from everybody. Now, does he do it the right way? No, he likes the conflict. He likes to be the tough guy. You don't have to do it that way. You get them anyway. You just behind the scenes say, hey, this is what's going to happen if you don't do it. But for Trump, him making, well, I'm going to go in, boosts him. And it's worked politically for him. There's no doubt about it. He almost got 80 million votes last November. Okay. RFK Jr., as I said in the message of the day, one of Trump's mistakes. Okay. This guy is not, he shouldn't be there. I know this family. I know him. No. So he may get in. I don't think he will, but he might. Because you'll remember that I told you that Hegseth wasn't going to make it. And 12 hours before the vote, Hegseth didn't have the votes. The last second, Tom Tillis, the senator from North Carolina, switched. I don't know what the deal was, but believe me, there was a deal. And then once Tillis switched, there was a tie, and Vice President Vance broke the tie, and Hegseth is the Defense Department secretary. That may happen with RFK. It shouldn't. It's like Matt Gaetz. That was ridiculous. Okay? But he might get in. But right now, I don't see it. Could change. Did you know that when your metabolism is working properly, you'll feel the benefits in literally every aspect of your life? Well, I found a valuable tool that helps me create a healthy metabolism for my body. It's called Lumen. Lumen is a first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen. Then it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs and helps guide improvements in nutrition, sleep, and stress management. Lumen offers unmatched insights and recommendations for improving your metabolic health. Take the next step to improving your health. Go to lumen.me/Bill to get 20% off your Lumen. That's LUMEN.me/Bill for 20% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. FBI purge, Friday night. So 20 field offices had people fired in the FBI across the country. In D.C., a number of them, we don't have the exact total number from the Trump administration yet, were escorted out of the Washington FBI headquarters. Okay, that's embarrassing. So there are 8 FBI agents escorting other FBI agents, basically kicking them out of the building. That's pretty nasty. Did it have to be done? I'm not sure. But it was obviously a signal President Trump wanted sent, because Pam Bondi's not in as Attorney General yet. So he went through the acting Attorney General, James McHenry, and this came right from Trump. And get them out. I want people to see we're cleaning it up. And that's the way Trump is going to govern. Now, do I feel sorry for these agents? No, not necessarily. I think the FBI was politicized like crazy. Do I want left or right-wing ideologues holding FBI credentials? No, I don't. I want skilled investigators. I don't want ideology. That happened Friday. Trump today, busy day. He was down here in Palm Beach over the weekend. Then he, very early in the morning, because he doesn't sleep, flew back to Washington. He made the deal with Claudia Sheinbaum, the Mexican president. I think that took 12 seconds. On the phone with Justin Trudeau. And again, I'm not sure right now, but it'll work out in Trump's favor. And then Netanyahu is in D.C. talking to Steve Witkoff, who's Trump's main negotiator in the Middle East. I assume Trump and Netanyahu will meet very soon. And then it was announced that Trump will do an interview on Sunday with Fox, carrying the game, at 3 p.m. On Thursday, I will show you some of my Super Bowl interviews with the presidents. they're a little bit different than everybody else. You might get a kick out of that blast from the past. Grammy Awards last night. Nobody cares. I know. But this was an interesting comment. So Trevor Noah was the host, and they'll always hire left-wing hosts, always. And here's what he says. Go.
Oh, and yesterday, Beyonce announced her new tour. Yes. Everyone saw that. I will say, though, Beyonce, there's tariffs. We can't afford a new tour. Right? Maple syrup is about to be $50.
Yeah, but no, it's not, because you can buy maple syrup in Vermont there, Trevor. Now, I know you're from South Africa. You might not know much about Vermont. A lot of maple syrup up there. So you don't really need Canadian maple syrup. You want maple syrup, you go to Vermont. Where I get mine, directly. Okay, smart life. This breaks my heart. It really does. And I'm not exaggerating. So we have a concierge service at BillO'Reilly.com. And if you sign up, you get a special email, and you can send me anything you want to send me. And my team, producers and everything, will help you if you're in trouble, or try to help you. A lot of people think we have a magic wand. We don't. All right. But we can do a lot of good. And we know a lot of people. I get every single day of my life senior citizens writing to me with the saddest stories that you've ever heard. Many of them are broke. They have no money. Okay. If you get to age 60 and you don't have any money, you're in dire trouble. Dire trouble. Not just here in the United States, but anywhere on this planet. Okay. But most of these seniors that write to me and have serious problems, some of them are health, some of them are kids, some of them are estate, some of them, they have no clue. There are 4,000 elder care attorneys scattered across the United States, according to vault.com. 4,000. These attorneys, these lawyers, specialize in senior citizens' rights. Almost every state in the union has a robust agency to help seniors, but people don't know about it. They don't know what help is available to them, often free. So I find myself, because we answer every letter most of the time within 24 hours, and I write back, in your area, you have to talk to an elder care attorney, all right? And present your problem, and that person can guide you to what is available to help you. Again, a lot of it is free. Now, if you don't have enough money for a 1-hour consultation with an elder care attorney, you're just hosed. You can go to legal aid, and I said this in the Smart Life segment last week. Legal aid is free, and they will have pro bono, which means people who volunteer, lawyers volunteer, to help seniors on the list. They'll be able to give you somebody, but you don't want your own. And this is not just for indigent senior citizens. It's for every single senior citizen in this country, anyone over the age of 60, okay? You got to have an elder care attorney available to you, because it's too complicated. The Medicare changes, the Medicaid changes, this changes, the insurance doesn't pay, this one doesn't do that. You're getting hosed in the workplace. You've got to have somebody. I just can't get this across. You can't do it yourself. You can't fight the system. Get a consultation with an elder care attorney now. And if you like the person, and the person deals effectively with whatever your malady or your problem is, then you have somebody to go to. It really hurts me, because I cared for my mother. My father died at 61. I cared for my mother. She didn't need all that, because I was there to do what had to be done. But there was a lot of stuff that had to be done. And most senior citizens don't have children who will do that. And that's another scandal in this country we'll get into sometimes. It's not like Japan, where elderly people are revered. Not here. You throw them away. Well, you fight for your rights, but you got to know what they are. Smart life. Stay in history, February 3rd, 1913, first income tax. No president signed it. This is when Taft was in office. So Congress is running out of money. And they had three things they needed to do. Number one, they had to set up federal apparatus in the West. Indian wars were over. People were pouring out west of the Mississippi, and the feds had to set up an infrastructure out there. Number two, you had to have an army because the gathering World War I stuff was beginning in Europe. They didn't have an army. And number three, it was an age of rapid expansion. There were millions of people coming from Europe to the United States. And you had to set up a system whereby you could assimilate them. So there was an impact. Income tax, first one. Before that, the government taxed booze and tobacco and a whole bunch of stuff to get money. Now they need a lot of money. So the first income tax, which happened 112 years ago today, 1% average on people's income. It was went up to 7% for the very wealthy. And that was it. And then it pretty much stayed that way. It went up a little bit, but not crazy. In the roaring 20s, everybody was making money before the Depression. The average income tax there was, 25% in the 1920s. And then after World War II, it went to 94%. 94%. But nobody paid that because the rich guys figured out how Congress could make their carve-outs, and so they didn't pay it. And then JFK got in, John F. Kennedy got in 60s, have to do this whole thing over again, which he did. And the interest rates came down. The Reagan era was the best time for consumers. He dropped the income tax rate from 50 under Carter to 28%. Trump would like to get it down a little bit more. I don't know whether he will. He's going to have to trade some stuff. But that happened 116 years ago today, the first income tax. Quick break. We got mail, and we got a final thought you're going to like. Back in a moment. Many of us are trying to get our finances in order to start the new year right. And that's great news for homeowners. Interest rates have dropped and are now in the fives. So if you've been burned with high interest rate credit card debt, it's time to break free. American Financing can help you access the cash in your home to pay off your high interest debt. Last year, their salary-based mortgage consultants helped customers save an average of $800 a month. That's like giving yourself a $10,000 raise. What a way to start the new year. And if you begin today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So please call American Financing today, 800-906-2440. That's 800-906-2440. AmericanFinancing.net. Ivermectin, it's a name you've heard of, but forget the noise. This is about access to the medications you and your family really need. If you've had trouble getting it, you're not alone. That's why you need to check out All Family Pharmacy. As a licensed pharmacy in Florida, they make it easy to get ivermectin, mebendazole, and other medications that have become far too difficult to access. They'll provide the doctor's prescription, handle the whole process, ship it right to your door. It doesn't get much easier than that. Preparedness is not a luxury these days, it's a necessity. So don't wait for the system to crash down on you. Go to their new website, allfamilypharmacy.com/bill. Use code BILL10 for 10% off your order. Be proactive, take control, make sure your family is ready for whatever comes next. Okay, my YouTube commentary tonight. We had a Sacco Baffo YouTube month in January, approaching 1 million on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. And it's different than the No Spin News. I mean, I give you a lot more, and it's one topic. So tonight I'm going to go Trump madness. You know, out of madness sometimes comes genius. But I'm going to present both sides of it, and then you can decide. And within a year, we'll know whether Trump is crazy or he's a genius on this economic stuff. And it affects you directly. So that's YouTube tonight. Mail, Michael Long, West Lebanon, New Hampshire. On the RFK nomination, I've worked in healthcare for a long time. HHS has no chance of improving their service and outcomes for patients without a disruptive major change. RFK Jr. shows knowledge and dedication to transforming HHS. Okay. I'm not going to argue with the change, but I am going to argue with the vehicle of. This is posted with no name, so I can't read it. It's an anti-Kennedy thing. But I had it, but it has no name, so I can't read it. Don Marr, Wilbraham, Massachusetts, if the Senate fails to concern RFK Jr., can Trump try to appoint him as a recess deal? No. Senate votes you down, you're out. No recess. The recess is only if they won't vote. Matt Mixon, Warrensburg, Missouri, subject of Tulsi Gabbard, supporting Edward Snowden. I'm merely an armchair observer, but I think her verbal support from him stemmed from all the corruption she witnessed in the government. Look, she had a chance to repudiate Snowden in the hearing. She would not. Heard her. No doubt about it. Man's a traitor. Paul Cleespies, Clark, New Jersey. I think Donald Trump made a huge mistake by withdrawing security protection for former cabinet members and other government officials. Why place a former official at risk? A little petty. I'm not going to argue. It was. John Holland, Rockledge, Pennsylvania. You said you were good with Trump's explanation of the drones, but I don't understand why it took so long. Look, there's something that doesn't add up on the drone thing. Do I think it's important? No. If I did, I would pursue it, but it doesn't really stack. Dan Calderero, Dennis, Massachusetts, on Cape Cod. You said it was illegal for a spouse to testify against their spouse. Is it illegal, or is it up to the spouse whether or not they want to testify? Good point, Dan. I should have been more clear on this. All right? You can't force a spouse to testify. If the spouse wants to, then he or she can. Bill Sekskensky, Port St. Lucie, Florida, right up the I-95 from where I am. I received my first newsletter from Global Post today. Very interesting and informative. Special for BillO'Reilly.com people, users, Global Post, big discount. Check it out. You'll like it. Foreign news. Dexter Dwight, Coral Gables, right down I-95. I purchased Not Woke t-shirts. I wear them when I'm running errands. I get high fives at the supermarket and even applause. Always, I told you. Or Not Woke stuff. You got to get it. And we're taking pre-orders for hats now. Not Woke. Shirts. We got the mugs. We got the bumper stickers. We got the hats. And you wear them, you're going to make friends. All right? I'm glad you get standing O's. That's very funny. United States of Trump, if you buy that, and we got a mug, no spin mug, great deal. I was going to say Valentine's Day present, but I don't think that fits. I don't think that's gotten, no. Word of the day, that'd be one of my favorites, a poltroon, Poltroon. Somebody sent me we had a don't be a pinhead, all that, a don't be a poltroon shirt. Very cute. Thank you. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.